How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Talking Wolves. We're here for another rumour mill video and Wolves news. Hopefully you're all doing very, very well. Apologies for the sore throat. And hopefully you've all got your Wembley tickets if you do wish to go. But today we're going to be addressing some of the rumours and news that have been out over the last few days or so. We're more or less halfway through this international break now. Wolves almost back in club football. But of course that doesn't stop Wolves always being in the press and in the news. But before we start off, please going to point you in the direction of our channel partners over at OneFootball. A link to their app is in the top of the description down below. The number one football app out there, in my opinion, for your live scores and your live football news. When you download the app for the first time, you can select Wolves as your favourite team. And then you'll have all the Wolves news and rumours and live scores and team news all pushed to your phone. As I say, link in the top of the description for a free download on Android and iOS. But some more transfer rumours coming in. And, you know, there's a few to pick from. Let's start with probably the most humorous one that I think I've seen this weekend. And it is to do with Mr. Diogo Jota. Late on Saturday night, Sunday Express had posted an article online that Tottenham Hotspur were interested in Jota and another player, which was Jack Grealish. It had reported that Pochettino had identified Diogo Jota as somebody that could take a little bit of pressure off England hitman Harry Kane. Of course, he was injured for part of this season. They relied a lot on Fernando Llorente, who I don't think did a dreadful job. I think he could probably, outside the top six, get into most Premier League teams. But this rumour came about. We posted it on Talking Wolves. Rightly so. It got some negative feedback from Wolves fans because Jota, especially since sort of the turn of the year, has been a superb player for us. However, it turns out to be a little bit of a false alarm. It was then reported in, I think it was a Portuguese paper, I think it was Record, on Saturday or Friday night or Saturday, that Jota, it wasn't Diogo. Tottenham had scouts at Benfica who were looking at their young player called Jota. Completely different person. It wasn't Diogo, and some poor translation from different media outlets had caught on. It said Jota, Tottenham scouts, and they'd related it to Diogo. So I think it's a bit of a non-starter, fortunately. Next up is an old rumour, and it has come back to life again. Who would have thought it? Andre Silva, a player that we were even linked to last January, last summer. Not so much this January, but it looks like it's going to be happening again this summer. Andre Silva currently out on loan at Sevilla from AC Milan. Portuguese striker, did well, you know, under Nuno and for Porto. And the young Portuguese striker obviously made a big money move to AC Milan at the start of last year. Didn't really hit the ground running in the league. Did okay in European football. But then he got a loan to Sevilla, where he's done okay, to be honest. The Spanish side don't really want to cough up the money that AC Milan are demanding. Therefore, he may well be sent back to AC Milan, where Wolves are reportedly one of 4 teams that are interested in the striker. It's Wolves, Monaco, Valencia and Barcelona, quite strangely. But Wolves, Valencia and Monaco have all got links to Joao JImenez. Barcelona tend to have a little bit of a thing for underwhelming, let's say, Spanish strikers that do grab a few goals for smaller teams. But I think this is a non-starter as well. I think it's too easy to link Wolves and, you know, oh look, any Joao JImenez team with a tiny bit of money or stature, let's link it to him. It's come from an Italian source, Calcio Mercato, who I've seen a lot of their reports since over summer and they're not fantastic. It's almost like the Spanish or the Italian equivalent of the Sun. So again, I don't think there's anything much in this. The second Portuguese player that we have been linked with is Gedson Fernandez, a young Benfica midfielder with a lot of potential. Of course, Wolves have been linked with previously Joao Felix and so on. And yeah, these release clauses and their demands are really, really high for Felix. But Gedson Fernandez is a young, more sort of box-to-box type midfielder. And I think this kid could fit the bill perfectly for Wolves and really be an asset to our squad. The article came from Portuguese paper Arbola, who believe that Wolves have had scouts at Benfica, which they have had for the last few months or so, and Gedson is the man that they have been watching. It's believed it's around 30 million or 40 million euros to sign him up, which again, I don't want to say a hefty fee, but it is quite a lot of money to chuck at someone who at the moment doesn't really have as much as experience as Neves did at that time as well before he came to Wolves. The paper have said this would be a direct replacement if Neves were to go, but even if Neves stays, which I think he will, I think Edson Fernandez would be a good asset to the squad, as I say. If Wolves get to the European football, Europa League and so on, we do need to bulk out the squad a little bit, and I think having someone young like Gedson, giving him some crucial minutes at top level of football, could be a great signing. And we've already seen the likes of Jota this season. We could easily double our money on him. Neves, we could double our money on. You know, all the young players. Vinagre, we definitely make a lot of money on. Not to say that we're going to sell these players, but Gedson, of course, you're saying, 30, 40 million is a little bit of money. There's definitely room for profit there. And the final topic of today's video is Nuno. He was wanted by Chelsea. Unfortunately, it was the Sun that reported this. So again, I say unfortunately, like it's a bad thing, but fortunately, it was reported by the Sun. So again, I don't think it's a starter really. It's reported that Abramovich is losing his patience with Sarri, and it looks like Nuno and Frank Lampard are the two men he's got on his hit list to sign up. Nuno, of course, has had a fantastic career so far with Wolves, and long may it continue, but this is just going to be the start of some big clubs being rumoured with him. We had Manchester United rumoured with him when Mourinho wasn't performing. He rejected an Everton job last year. I saw a report a while back that Arsenal were in talks with him when Wenger had retired. So there is always going to be big club interest, and there always is going to be when you've got a team like Wolves, who had like a quite a poor season in the Championship a few years ago, to get promoted to the Premier League and then to, you know, be challenging top 6 and 7 in the Premier League. Something's going right there, so there is going to be a lot of interest in him. But as I say, it looks like it's a non-starter, so nothing much to worry about. But who knows? Big future ahead for Wolves, and some of the rumours there as well. Let me know your thoughts on those rumours down below. Thank you all for your support recently on Talking Wolves. This week we're going to have a few different type of videos coming out alongside the Burnley preview, the Burnley post-match stuff, and we're hoping to launch the start of the Talking Wolves website by this time next week as well, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Until then though, guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you all very, very soon.